Hey, my name is Wes. Welcome back to another lesson. In today's lesson, lesson number 13, we will go over the indefinite articles in Spanish. And the color of this lesson is purple, which means that today we will talk about grammar. Now, before we move on with this lesson, I would like to say that this lesson is an important one and it will require a lot of your energy. So I recommend to watch it when you are sharp and focused and to grab your notebook and pen and take notes of what we will learn today. All right, today, indefinite articles. Alright, so first let's have a little bit of a refresher of the definite articles in Spanish. If you can remember, in English there is just one way of saying the, so the car or the house. However, in Spanish we learned that there's two ways of referring to a noun, which is el for masculine objects or nouns and la for feminine nouns. So depending on if a noun is masculine or feminine, we use two different words, el and la. And those are the definite articles in Spanish. And we also learned that if you are talking about multiple nouns, so nouns in plural, the definite article el changes to los, so not el coche, but los coches. And the definite article la changes into las, so la casa turns into las casas if we are talking about multiple houses. So we already saw this table before and probably you have it somewhere in your notes or you might have downloaded the PDF file. Alright, so in today's lesson, we are actually going to go over the indefinite articles. I'm super excited to have you learn this. So let's look at an example first. So if we say the car in Spanish, as we learned, we say el coche because coche is a masculine noun. So we use el in front of it. El coche, the car. And if we turn el coche into the plural, so multiple coches, we say los coches. So el changes from el to los coches, the cars. And of course also, as I said before, la casa, the house, turns into las casas, the houses. So by now, I'm pretty sure that you already have the grips of this, that you understand that we use two different types of definite articles and that the definite article changes if we use singular or plural when it comes to a noun. Now, there's actually something that we haven't talked about yet, which is that up until this point, we have said the car or the house. But what if we want to say a car or a house or some cars and some houses? We haven't discussed this yet. And that's because these are called indefinite articles. So in Spanish, again, to make it more complicated, we have different words depending on if the noun is masculine or feminine. So let's start with a masculine noun. So if we're talking about the car, we say el coche. However, if we say a car, the el turns into un. So we say un coche.
Un coche.
So we use un when you want to say a in Spanish, when it's masculine. And then if you want to turn coche into multiple coches, so instead of saying a car, we want to say a few cars or some cars, which is the same thing in Spanish, then un coche turns into unos coches, some cars or a few cars.
Unos coches.
So un and unos. All right, and then let's also look at the feminine articles. So instead of saying la casa, which is the house, if I want to say a house, I say una casa.
Una casa.
So it's almost the same as un, however, because it's feminine, we add the a at the end. So una casa, a house. And if we are talking about the plural noun, so casas instead of casa, which means some houses or a few houses, then una becomes unas. So unas casas.
Unas casas.
Some houses or a few houses. So now we can add these in a separate table as well. So here again we see the definite articles, which we already saw in one of the previous grammar lessons. So el, la, los, and las. And then today we learned 4 new words: un, una, unos, unas. And that's actually everything we will learn in this lesson. So honestly, it's not that bad. But of course, it's also not fun because now we have to learn even more words. But hey, that's language learning. I cannot do anything about that. The only thing I can do is to try and make it as simple for you to understand and fun for you to practice. So talking about practicing, I actually came up with a few examples here, or practice sentences, of which you can guess if you use el, la, los, las, or un, una, unos, or unas. And you can see by the words in English on the right what the translation of the words are. And also if it's singular or plural, and I actually made it easy for you so that you don't have to think if it's el or la, because the man is obviously masculine and the woman is obviously feminine. Alright, so pause this video right now if you want to practice, and then you can press play again, and in a couple of seconds I will show you the answers. Alright, and these are the answers. Alright, and that's the end of this lesson. Now again, anything discussed in this video you can look up at SpanishWithWes.com, where you can also find the PDF file. I'll leave a link in the description which you can click on, which will take you to the download page of the PDF of this lesson. And if you have any more questions, of course, please feel free to let me know. Alright, that's it for this lesson, lesson number 13. In the next lesson we will go over another verb, which is a yellow lesson. So I'm excited to see you in the next lesson. For now, I want to say thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.